Got to get it past the guy that stops better than 50% of the shots that come his way. And we're underway, and it's BU's right off the bat with a one-on-one opportunity that puts the Terriers on the board immediately. Who is it? Louis Perfetto.
Well, Ryan Poley said we cannot get off to the start we did Friday night in Hamilton. Talk about a reversal of the script. Colgate immediately turns the ball over after winning the faceoff, and it ends up with the most dangerous player on the field. He's going to score in that situation 99 times out of 100. The BU ride causes the turnover, and Perfetto is able to beat Lacombe, and it's a good start for BU.
Roy Meyer causes the turnover. Couple of things right off the bat. Number one, Colgate is not particularly good at the faceoff X this season. They win it. Well, both teams really struggle, but 33% for Colgate. So they win the opening faceoff, but then they can't get into their offense, and both of these teams working in transition has been an interesting thing this year.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the biggest theme, if you're talking about,
coaches will often talk about wanting to give up the shots that you want to give up. Right, you want to give the goalie the best chance for them to look at the shots they want to see. Behind the back, doorstep, Perfetto lost it. Goalie's out of the cage. This could be an issue if BU comes up with the ball. And luckily for Colgate, Tedesco's free, and we've got a whistle. Both teams early have given up shots you absolutely do not. Leadership and experience.
Yeah, and I think, Joel, the really kind of interesting part about this game is mentally where these two teams are at. And how they got here, right? Colgate's kind of had a bunch of lean years in a row, and they're thrilled to be in this game as the 5 seed. Could have been better, but overall, 8-6, 5-3, massive step in the right direction. On the BU side, a yard or two outside of the crease, maybe uncovered, and both teams have been able to cash in.
These two teams met over the weekend. They were two massive runs. It was 10-2 Colgate, and then BU at one point had 7 unfettered goals. I don't know if we're going to get that today.
I think the most important.
This goes back to the point where we talked about your goalies you want to give up certain shots, like give yourself a chance to make the save. They're not doorstep shots. There have been 5 shots in the game, and there have been 5 goals.
Yeah, and by the way, face-off-wise, BU shoot it as hard as he possibly wants. And yeah, I mean, it's not just the 6 shots and 6 goals. It's the fact that I don't think there's been a shot in this game that either goalie had any prayer of saving.
Dane DeGoler comes away with the ground ball off the faceoff. And now BU is just helter-skelter. These are those uncomfortable games because you can't relax. Like, you're just trying to
interesting for both teams because as much as Colgate felt like it should have won that game and was up 10-2, you obviously have to move on from it. And Ryan Poley was quick to say to us that as impressed as he was with his team coming back from down 10-2, we can't start like that again.
BU swimming with sharks, unsettled. Low shot was altered. I don't know if a stick caught that shot or if the stick caught the ground. It is backed up by the Terriers. Going to stay with BU. Fender, he doesn't want to slide across the face of his goalie.
Right.
Not that close to the net. Now we're tied up at 4. And a violation against BU.
That's the first face-off Colgate has won since the first one of the game that, as you put it, Joel, they immediately turned over and allowed a goal on.
If there was any way to lose, well, Jack Turner's really good. Like 36 goals leads the team coming in. He never had more than 4 goals in a game this year. He has 3 quarters and 2.5 minutes to get to 4 and then some today.
You have to think that this game sort of relaxes at some point, but we haven't seen anything to indicate that it will.
I was going to say, what we just watched is about as relaxing as...
You build it correctly, we might have 2 of the 3, if not the 2 best goalies in the Patriot League in this game. This is not a goalie show and you have a chance at a very free goal by taking that full field, half field shot, whatever it is. But if you don't convert on it, if you don't score, you leave yourself in that kind of spot where it's an unsettled situation. You're kind of numbers down, and you can leave yourself basically giving up a free goal yourselves. So It's a hard decision for both teams and both coaches, but it's landed us all of this at a tie back of the net. BU back ahead for the first time since pretty early in the first quarter.
Colgate just trying to get out of the face-off X cleanly. Thought it had an opportunity. And they do have a push that will win Colgate. Had led by 2 at 6-4. We've got a 3-goal BU run.
Play that turns into a goal. And I know it's kind of something that's said all the time, but you need your best players to step up in the biggest games. Perfetto and D'Alto have combined for 8 points already for BU. Connor and Lee far down. And both teams are just exchanging haymaker after haymaker here in the first half.
He had Styles ducking. Back to a 1-goal game. And again, less of face-offs today and more of skirmishes. Meyer lost his stick.
And sometimes when you've struggled at the face a little bit, that as much as these games mean, and they do, you know, there are things outside of lacrosse that are really, really darn important. They're more important, and there are also other stories to all these guys that you're watching play.
Calderone continues to be great at the face-off X.
You had a feeling that maybe in a huge game he'd play the way he did the last couple years.
He's 6 for 7. Fritz is...
That is a major problem.
Well, it's what BU does. Not only is BU one of the best teams at the ride in the country, they're the number 3rd ranked team in the country at causing turnovers.
Yep.
Anywhere on the field. They're going to take it away, they're going to create transition opportunities, and they're going to put you behind the 8 ball.
And so much of that is 2 guys, Meyer and Morrison, who have combined for 43 this season coming into today.
And Meyer had the turnover 10 seconds in.
Not many people do. And we get back to a tied game at 9-9.
Rare face-off win tonight for Colgate. Now 7 of 19.
6 different Colgate players with a goal in the first half. 6 different BU players with a goal in the first half.
12 guys for 19 goals. And all the duplicates have been the same guys. Right, you got the hat trick for D'Alto and the hat trick for Turner.
Oh, my goodness. I think that might have been going in. Yates with the pole took the shot, and Druin was running anyway. A possession that lasted 1 minute and 16 seconds does result in a goal for BU.
So Jake Cates with goal number 17.
Act, take advantage of the EMO chance.
That is Michael of the Darien Minikai. They are a lacrosse family.
Yeah, they are.
Brother was drafted by the Philadelphia Barrage back in the day. If you're a Brian Doherty guy, you should bring back the Barrage.
It's a good name.
It's a great logo. Got a couple old MLL names in the PLL nowadays. Good to see the Outlaws back.
Oh, look at this.
Opportunity for BU. Ripped. D'Alto, I don't know what that hit. That went in the upper 90 and Lacombe dropped to the ground. Again, that's the best goalkeeper in the conference. You got the 2 best goal, 2 of the 3. Loose ball. Colgate. Barnes very quickly dashing back to the net.
Means is that if Loyola wins, the winner of this game plays Army. And if Navy wins, the winner of this game plays Lehigh.
Makes the scouting a little bit more of a quick study, but everyone knows everybody.
This game is being played. And I keep landing on nobody because this just continues to be a 1-goal or tied game the whole way. So there's no desperate need for anybody to change anything.
Well, it's like, what position are you talking about, right?
Yep.
I think the offensive guys are more than happy.
5-1.
There was a day only one man on the field had the Mikey Powell eye black.
Now all the cool kids have it.
It's a requirement. Does make you play better on offense.
By the way, we have reached the exact final score of Friday's game.
That is true, although it might not last very long. Ground ball. Colgate with a brief reprieve. Ball is back on the ground. Speaking of Mikey, by the way, this is the kind of game where somebody might just try a backflip or a forward flip or
Something.
if he scores again, he's doubled his season production.
You just never know who's going to step up in these big moments.
I mean, Styles is playing his first career start. Guy who just tried to follow the bouncing ball. You got a guy taking faceoffs today for BU that had been a non-factor for much of the season.
Well, it's been Fritz lately also, and
He's been great.
right. And you mentioned Calderone and the way he's played today. I mean, faceoffs are back up to 19 out of 27 in BU's favor. I think they've won.
It's like a silly sentiment, but you got a defender right next to you. And you're standing there so wide open with your stick in the air saying he doesn't know it. BU ground ball. I mean, he threw the salt over his shoulder like he just spilled it at the table. 7 seconds left to go in the third. I wouldn't put anything by Colgate. You got an opportunity here if Druin can corral it, but time expires. And we go to the fourth quarter, deadlocked at a... Yeah.
But, again, just so everyone remembers, if Navy wins that game, the winner of this gets Army.
Although neither one is really worried about it. Nice save sliding down by Barnes. Rebound picked up. Barnes again. Army has 2 losses this year. These 2 teams. So, I don't know. Do you want to see them again? Because Army's...
And BU's back ahead.
And because of that, Lacombe has the opportunity to come back in. Credit to you, Justin. That's actually the second time that that's happened to Colgate this season. The first was with 11 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the second quarter against Albany back at the beginning of the season. Lacombe was called for a slash, and Burrell had to come in on.
Team led by more than 2 goals. Neither team has led by more than 1 goal in the second half.
It feels like immediately after a goal, we get another goal. I mean, what if the split's been? Ground ball, bodies on the ground. Like a Royal Rumble. 6:18 to 7 minutes, so 40 seconds between goals. 5:24 to 6:18. You got less than a minute between goals. Bodies die.
Long, Joel. That's only the 3rd goal of the 4th quarter between these 2 teams, so things have settled down a little bit, maybe not in terms of the way the game's being played, but at least in terms of the scoring.
Got a push in the back from Fritz, or on Fritz, so that awards possession to BU.
That was on Yates.
Does the 9th for either guy win it? We got 6:11 to go.
You know, we mentioned this earlier, but with these guys like Louis Perfetto, Vince D'Alto, Roy Meyer, Patrick Morrison, grad students that have been so good. This is the 10th year of BU Lacrosse, and they've been involved with 5 of them. They hold all kinds of records here. For someone to come into this building and end their careers, you felt like would take a Herculean effort, and Colgate's done a lot of that.
Colgate trying to... That pushed Lacombe out and caused a goalie switch cold for the extra man that led to a goal. Could ultimately be the difference. It's a 1-goal game. And that came at the end of the extra man as well. Colgate's got to successfully get it across. That's been a chore today. Clears are 18 of 25 for Colgate, 22 of 27 for
Seasons is going to end tonight.
How many times do you say that in a postseason game, too? Right? You dial up your best lacrosse at this time of the year.
These games always deliver.
3:17 left to go, at least. Connor checking the rearview mirror. 1:17 to go. So now with 17 goals apiece, we go to overtime. Sudden death, 4 minutes. Neither team has played an extra frame yet this season. Someone's going to the semifinals to face Army. And with a whistle off the opening faceoff, possession belongs to BU. Dominated at the X today. 20 semifinals on the line.
You know, if you had told me somewhere around midway through this game, Joel, that it would go to overtime, I'd believe you. I'd say, yeah, sure. If you had told me it would go 2 overtimes, I would say no way, because that would mean both teams went 5 minutes without scoring. But the offenses, the last 3 or so minutes of regulation, and then all of overtime got really bogged down. There was one good look in that overtime, and it was Turner for Colgate, and Barnes just got a piece.
By far the biggest scoring drought of the game, 7 minutes and 29 seconds. We went a period where there wasn't 3 minutes without a goal in the first half, and then for the most part, it was every minute. That's a ripped shot that misses well wide and is backed up by BU, the full length of the field. If you're just joining us, the first goal came seconds in, and then we were off. This thing had a feverish tempo early. And BU takes the opening faceoff and now has to get itself triggered in.
This is only the second game all year, Joel, that's gone to 3 overtimes. The other?
Mercer and Queens.
I knew you would know it.
10-9, shot wide, backed up by BU. There were 8 other double overtime